Welcome back to part two. Now, when it comes to the championship battle in GT Cup, it's not just the overall honours at stake, there's also group battles in contention as well. Now, when it comes to our Group 3 cars, they may not be as fast as the leaders, but they're still racing just as hard out on track. One of our Group 3 drivers this weekend is Robert Koenig. Hi, Robert. Now, you're not battling for the championship because you've not done the full season, but you have come back to us, and how's it going so far?
It's gone well. It's been very exciting.
And of course today you got third place in group, so that was a great achievement.
I think, to be honest, it was lucky.
Well, it's great to see you back in the championship, and I hope you're enjoying the races, and good luck for race 2.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
Well, Keith, you're brand new to GT Cup and you've brought along your Ginetta G50 to race. How was Group 3? It's competitive, isn't it?
Yes, it's very competitive, yes. And my times aren't quite there yet. So it's just really keep trying and see how we go.
Well, we'd like to wish you the best of luck for race 2, and we'll leave you to get ready. Good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Barclay, race 1 finished up with a second place in group for you. Talk us through what happened.
My gearbox problems re-arose and I just gave up after that. I just thought, bring the car home and get second place.
Whereabouts are you in the Group 3 battle at the moment?
Overall points, I think I'm second. I think with dropping scores, I'm first, I believe, by about 3, I'm not sure. But it's very close. There's going to be a bit of tactics coming in and dropping scores. It's going to be quite interesting as we go into the last 3 rounds.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing what happens and how that plays out. But best of luck for getting the car back together and for race 2.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, here we are down on the grid, ready for the second race of the day here at Donington Park. Fantastic grid lineup we've got here, but look at that front row. It's the battle of the British marks. We've got the TVR Cigaris, Danny Winstanley behind the wheel, and on pole position, it's the Morgan Aero 8 of Tom Andrew. Over to you, Ben.
Thanks, Charlie. What a lot of horsepower on the front row of the grid with Tom Andrew in pole, Danny Winstanley alongside him. Mitch Millett lines up in 3rd and David Tomlin in 4th. Harry Whale, very fine qualifying to be there in 6th place. Bartley Dougal, excellent 12th position, but he will start this race from the pit lane, so he won't be there on the grid. So it's Adam Hayes who's going to lead the Group 3 charge with the rest of the field coming through. Chris Bentley and Darryl Wilson both made up a lot of places in race 1. We'll see if they do the same again this time round. Rolling start as ever, and away we go. It's Tom Andrew who leads the field in towards Redgate for the first time. But it's looking very busy there for 3rd. They're 3 abreast, and David Tomlin turns across a little bit late. He might run out of traction there. Tomlin runs wide. Harry Whale goes off. Simon Blankney runs wide. Mark Radcliffe just about scrapes through the gravel trap as well. And David Tomlin, unfortunately, is left looking a little bit forlorn in the pity litter as it is. Tom Andrew who leads it, and Andy Ruin's been the big winner. He's up there in 2nd. Keith Webster in 3rd, with then Derek Johnson into 4th. Mitch Millett in 5th. Kevin Clark there in 6th position. So the order turned on its head as a result of those first corner antics. But Keith Webster and Andy Ruin, surely the 2 biggest winners, as Tom Andrew leading the race in that Group 2 Morgan Bartley Dougal from the pit lane. Let's see how he begins to pick his way up through the order. Well, the first man he's going to go past is Robert Koenig. Through he goes past Robert as he continues to move up through the order. Tom Andrew on the very limit here. What a shot of those cars exiting the chicane, sliding up over the crest and through to complete lap as Andy Ruin comes under real pressure here from Keith Webster and Derek Johnson in the black Ferrari. And Johnson looks to the inside of Webster, and he's going to go through, and Derek Johnson goes through in that Ferrari into 3rd position. The car is for sale, by the way, in case you're interested. So Derek Johnson, well, he's advertising its wares very nicely at the moment and is charging up through the order, having run only a handful of laps in qualifying yesterday evening, but he's not really done any work on that car for about 6 months, and he's just been developing as it's gone over the course of the weekend. But he's clearly got it working very nicely at the moment, because he's there 3rd in the race overall, 2nd in the Group 1 battle behind the championship leader, and that is Andy Ruin. So Ruin turns through McLean's with Johnson in hot pursuit. Then we've got a slight gap back to Keith Webster, Mitch Millett in the Corvette, and then also Kevin Clark going nicely in the BMW, and he's followed up another BMW, and that is Don Grice before the gap back to Danny Winstanley, who's just faded slightly in this race. So they sprint down the back straight here at Donington Park and into the chicane at Goddard's. It's Millett who's having to defend here from Webster. Keith Webster, though, able to find a way through on the Corvette. Kevin Clark and Don Grice bring themselves very much into the mix as well What a fantastic race we've got here. We've got the first 7 cars, to all intents and purposes, running line astern, with Tom Andrew in the Morgan doing a very fine job of keeping Andy Ruin at bay. And Andy Ruin may just want to try and think about finding his way past Tom Andrew now, because he's got Derek Johnson right in his tail, and then Mitch Millett, who seems to have really found a turn of pace in the Corvette, and he's there in 4th position and trying to close up to the leading trio as they come down the crane of curves once more, break into the old hairpin. Tom Andrew outbreaks himself. He took a very defensive line in. He's surely going to run wide here, and that is going to give the lead of the race to Andy Ruin, and Derek Johnson may well follow him through. So Tom Andrew just running out of road, the old hairpin, while Ruin's in the lead. Derek Johnson has to work hard to move second, but he does so eventually. So Johnson goes second. Tom Andrew has another lock-up on the brakes into McLean's as Mitch Millett has had a bit of a spin, unfortunately. So Millett in the Corvette, let's do a spin turn. Don Bryce as well has had a moment. So Millett and Bryce both coming to grief in the exit of the old hairpin as we go 3 abreast, a little bit lower down the order, as Kevin Clark has found his way past Keith Webster. Keith doesn't like the idea of that. It's brought Danny Winstanley back into play as well. Kevin Clark, vastly experienced racing driver and a very hard man to overtake, as Keith Webster is currently finding out, because whichever way he tries, Kevin Clark's usually got an answer for him, as we see there. Clark taking a perfect line through the crane of curves, and Keith Webster having a slight slide, and that enables Danny Winstanley to go through and gain the place. So Danny Winstanley moves up a place, and Keith Webster, when he was trying to gain one place, he loses another, as we watch the replay of Darrell Wilson and Chris Bentley taking turns to go across the curbs there, right in front of Harry Well, who's recovering from his trip through the gravel on the first lap of the race. Starting from the pit lane, Bartley Dougal is now onto terms here with the Group 3 leader, Adam Hayes. So Dougal, the stirring drive up through the pack as Andy Ruin and Derek Johnson, the race leaders, come through to lap them, and Ruin outbreaks himself into the chicane, and he's going to run wide. He takes Adam Hayes with him, so Derek Johnson moves into the lead of the race, Bartley Dougal moves into the lead of Group 3, and Hayes and Ruin recover. It was just the slightest of outbreaking manoeuvres there for Andy Ruin, but with Adam Hayes turning across in, the pair of them had no option but to go up the escape road. So it's Derek Johnson who takes over the lead of the race in the Ferrari, and is going to try and build up an advantage here over Andy Ruin. The pair of them have been so evenly matched in the race thus far. Bartley Dougal likewise will be trying to move away from Adam Hayes. So here's Andy Ruin. Well, no contact there with Adam Hayes, and he is about to lap Robert Koenig, who is going very nicely as well in Group 3. In fact, I think Robert Koenig has been able to move ahead of Adam Hayes as a result of all of those antics. So Koenig on course for his best result of the season, as Derek Johnson, well, he ran a handful of laps yesterday. The car really isn't sorted according to Derek, but he's found enough pace in it this weekend to come through and claim victory in his seasonal debut in the GT Cup Championship. It's really been a very fine weekend for Derek Johnson. He's just got the final chicane to go between himself and the checker flag. So through Gollards, he accelerates for the final time onto the start and finish straight. The checker flag is ready and waiting, and the win in the second race of the GT Cup Championship here at Donington Park goes the way of Derek Johnson. Into second place comes Andy Ruin, and that is more solid championship points in what's turning to be an excellent season for him. And then third place in the race going to Kevin Clark, who was able to hold off Keith Webster in the closing stages, with Keith claiming 4th position. Derek Johnson receiving the acclaim and applause of the marshals and crowds here at Donington Park as he celebrates a fine victory. So here are the final results, with Derek Johnson taking the win from Andy Ruin and Kevin Clark in 3rd, Keith Webster in 4th, Mitch Millett in 5th, and Simon Blankley well up in 6th. The same going for Harry Whale in 7th. In terms of the group results, well, Group 1, it was Derek Johnson from Andy Ruin and Keith Webster. In Group 2, it was won by Kevin Clark from Colin Broster, and a great drive there from Chris Bentley to round out the podium. And Group 3, Bartley Dougal from the pit lane wins it from Robert Koenig and Adam Hayes.
Well, Derek, congratulations. A win in the GT Cup on your debut race weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic really, because we had lots of trouble with our real car. It broke its gearbox, so we pulled this one out of retirement and come from 10th to win. That's great.
Yeah, it was an eventful race out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it keeps you busy, that's for sure.
Well, Kevin, congratulations. Group 2 win for you there. How was that?
It was a real hard race. I seemed to be racing a Class 1 car most of the time. I was quicker than him down at the bottom of through Craners and at the bottom. But he had a good run down the side of me a few times and some real close racing.
Well done, great result.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Well, Barkley, what an eventful race that was for you. Let's start at the beginning. What happened on the grid?
Something was touching the manifold in the engine, which was going to ignite, so I had to come in and we had to get that away from the manifold, tie it up, and then I had to start from the pit lane.
So how did you get from dead last in the pit lane to winning Group 3?
Trying pretty hard. I'm quite tired now.
Well, all three of you drivers on the podium today have looked pretty tired. It looks like you've worked hard for your results. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, that certainly was an exciting and eventful day of racing here at Donington Park for the GT Cup Championship. Do make sure you join us next time when we'll be heading off for some racing with a view at Anglesey Circuit on the Welsh coast. But from everybody here at Donington and from the GT Cup Championship, it's goodbye.